Well, I've been living out here about 14 years, uh, and originally bought the property to build a water ski pond on so I could water ski, uh, do slalom competition. Um, and as time went along, the skiing got too rough on the body, and I just kind of quit doing a lot of the skiing and went into some of my other interests, which growing things, daylilies and that sort of thing involved. And I've been growing daylilies now about 6 or 7 years, collecting different ones, learning more about it, actually doing some attempts at hybridizing and that sort of thing. Well, my daddy had a green thumb, and he always thought it was important to have your yard look good. And you know, he was always growing roses and some other things, and he eventually settled with poppies. He really loved to grow poppies, and I got my green thumb pretty naturally from him. And my Aunt Lucille had a greenhouse 3 or 4 miles away, and I'd go and spend some time with her. She taught me how to cut cuttings and root all kinds of different things. And so later on in life, I was rooting azaleas, I was rooting boxwoods, and all kinds of things. So I was just really interested in making things grow, and that's kind of how it started. But to start with the daylilies really came when a lady in Anderson had to move from her home, and that was where her garden was, in her backyard. She had over 200 varieties of daylilies, which to me was like, that's unbelievable. I can't imagine 200 different daylilies. I had no idea there were that many in the first place. So we took everything that she had pretty much and put them out here, and she insisted I take the labels with them so that I'd know which daylily it was, because each one is named. And I sort of said, well, I don't know if I really want. She said, oh yes, you do. You want these. So I did as she told me, and it worked out well. We started with a couple of big long plots, and then I got more daylilies from someone else, and added more plots to the point now that we have 8 plots that are about 200 feet long and about 10 feet wide. And now I have over 2,000 varieties of daylilies myself. And the way that kind of started was I had a friend who was growing daylilies, and she was over one day and looking at what I had, and she kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. She said, you don't have any new stuff, and you really need to get some new stuff. And I said, okay, well, yeah, I guess so. It kind of hurt my feelings a little because I thought I had quite a collection of daylilies. But so after that, I started getting 200 new varieties every year. And here we are now at a little over 2,000. So yeah, the daylilies come from all over the country. Everybody in the United States can grow them. But a lot of the hybridizers are in Florida because it's just better climate to grow them. They get a longer growing season and that sort of thing. But you can get them from, like I said, Canada. So they're hardy if they're coming from Canada or coming from Wisconsin or somewhere like that. They tend to have up in the northern states a little different variety of daylilies than we do, because some of ours here wouldn't make it up there. But most of them are hardy and will live in some pretty extreme conditions. Yeah, the American Hemicallus Society is a large group of people. It's just amazing how many people are into daylilies, bigger than I am. And there are local clubs, which I'm a member of a local club here, and there are regions, and the regions will have meetings in one particular place. And we had the regional meeting here in Anderson about 2 or 3 years ago, and my daylily garden was on the tour. Yeah, the people exchange a lot of information. There's a real nice magazine that comes out once a month with lots of tips on growing and hybridizing and all that sort of stuff. So that's a big organization. Okay, we'll dig the daylilies as soon as they stop blooming, sometime in mid-July, and all the way from July until September, sometimes even October. We are digging them up. We take a clump at a time, dig them up, shake off all the excess dirt, and then we take them back to we keep a label on them, because you have to be sure that you don't get them mixed up with the other ones. So we keep a label on them to keep them, keep straight what we have. And then we'll take them back to an area where it's shady, because we're going to be there for probably 2 or 3 hours working with them, and it's hot. So we'll go to the shady area, take them out of the container that they came in, or whatever trailer or whatever we use to get them out. But we keep the labels always with them. And the easiest way to separate them is really using a screwdriver. We take a plain end screwdriver, poke it in the clump and break them open, and we start tearing them apart. And we usually try to put at least 2 fans, sometimes 3, into each pot that we put them out into. If you buy a daylily from some place where it comes to you dry rooted, it's going to usually always have 2 fans. That's just the way the daylily grows, and it grows from a central crown, the heart of the plant, you might say. And you can split those 2 fans apart, but you risk getting crown rot when you put it in the ground, because the plant needs plenty of water, and the more water you put on it when it's been broken like that, it's more likely that you may get crown rot and you might lose both plants. But we try to keep 2 fans together at least, and pull them apart, separate them, and put them in that way. And they grow better when you can keep just 2 fans together. The display garden is free to the public, for them to come out and look around, look through. We invite groups to come. Last year we had a church group come with a big bus and about 20, 30 people, and they enjoyed just sitting out for 2 or 3 hours and looking at the flowers and meeting us and talking. We're going to have an event coming up here in 4 or 5 days now. It will be a fundraiser for hospice. One of the ladies that's in a garden club that came by last year and saw my flowers for the first time, she immediately said, "This is where we need to have the hospice annual deal that they do every year." And of course we were thrilled to be involved in that. I think everybody's been touched by hospice at some time in their life. So they're going to have that here, and I'm also going to donate to hospice. They've got a large bank on the side of a hill. I'm going to donate flowers to them to landscape that area. I have plenty of flowers, that I have when I separate them, which you have to do every 2 or 3 years, or the flowers start to get small and they crowd each other out. But so I've got plenty to give them, and hopefully it'll work out real well for them.